Tomorrow, La Crosse voters head to the polls for the spring primary, and on this Mindful Monday, the League of Women Voters, Jane Powell, joins us with everything you need to know before you head to the ballot. Good morning, Jane. Nice to see you again.
Good morning. Thank you.
So, yeah, happy to see you. So just let us know, what can we expect to see on the ballot tomorrow?
Everything is on one side of the page.
Okay.
There's in La Crosse, there's 3 to 4 races depending on where you live, but everyone in the state will have a state school superintendent primary. And then in La Crosse, we also have our important mayoral primary, and then the school board of the La Crosse district. In District 7 of La Crosse, there's 3 candidates, so there is a primary to narrow that down to 2 candidates.
Okay, but that's just in that one district there.
Right.
Okay.
But for in a wider region, if you need to find out what's on your ballot, just go to myvote.gov, and you will find information.
Yeah, that's very helpful for sure. Yeah,
Right.
and you can even click through them, right? You can do like a real test. So yeah, very helpful for sure.
Right.
I love my polling place, but some folks may not remember where their polling place is. So where do you find out where do you register and where do you find your polling place?
Well, that again is on the myvote.gov website. But if you're not computer, don't use computers, just call your city clerk.
Okay.
And you'll be able to find your polling place. But if you do have an address change or a name change, you do need to re-register. You can do that in person on Tuesday at the polls.
Okay.
The online registration is closed at this time.
Okay, but you can still do that. And then if you voted in the November general election, you are registered, right? So no need to worry.
As long as you haven't made changes to your address or name. And if you've lived if you've moved within 28 days, it's the 28-day rule as far as where you live is where you vote.
Okay.
If it's been less than 28 days, you can go back and vote in your previous site.
Okay, all right, good to know there. And then a note that we need to mention that for the La Crosse School Board, candidate Sam Morris, we know that he has recently dropped out, but he will still be on the ballot, right? So important note there so that people don't get confused.
Yes, he has put out the notice that he's dropped out of the race, but his name will be on the ballot. But voters need to know that.
Okay, yeah, so don't vote there, don't get confused there. And then so we know that every vote matters in local elections, but turnout is historically low in primaries. So what would you say to someone, wondering if they should vote, maybe they don't want to head out in the cold? What would you say to encourage them to get out there?
I think the biggest reason is people think that they haven't found out enough information about the candidates. And we've tried to make that simple. On our website, lwvlacrosse.org, if you go to our website, we've consolidated all the information about all the local candidates. We've had great turnout with the candidates. They've pretty much all signed up for the Vote 411 voter guide so that you can see what's on your ballot and read about the candidates. We also have the mayor debate that WISM did. It was a 1 hour at UWL. That's on our website. We also have 4 20-minute interviews individually with the mayoral candidates so you can learn about them. There's some news articles about the state school superintendents. So we've really consolidated. If you go to our lwv.org website, you'll be able to spend, however much time you have, but you'll be able to find a lot of resources about all the candidates so you feel prepared to vote.
Okay, good. Yeah, there is still some time to do some research, so good to have those resources there for sure. And then so looking ahead to April, that is when the Supreme Court election will be back on the ballots there. What do voters need to know about that election and why that is so important?
Judge Bradley is retiring, and so that leaves an opening. And so there is many important issues that come to our state courts now because the federal court has kind of kicked back some of the issues to the local states to be decided, such as reproductive rights, voting rights. And so the state Supreme Courts become more and more important. And so any person who gets onto the Supreme Court has an important job, and it's a 10-year term.
Yeah.
So they are going to be making decisions for the state for a long time. So it is important for people to get to know the candidates, know what issues are important to you, and then look at candidates that align with your values and make informed decisions.
All right, and then for the Supreme Court, we won't have to worry about that one for tomorrow. Got a couple more weeks for
That's
them.
right.
Should do a little more research, so that's great. All right, Jane, well, thank you so much for being here this morning with us.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Stay with us. We're back right after this.